My child, before you close your eyes tonight, I need you to stop for a moment and listen carefully to me, because heaven would not allow this day to end without placing this message directly in front of you. Do not ignore what you are feeling right now. Do not scroll away from this moment too quickly, because something spiritual is happening around your life even while you are reading these words. I know you are tired. I know your heart feels heavy. I know you have been carrying battles inside your mind that nobody else fully understands. But tonight is different. Tonight I need you to hear my voice clearly, because the season around your life is beginning to shift. You thought nobody noticed your silent suffering, but I noticed every moment of it. I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone could ask questions. I saw you lying awake at night with thoughts racing through your mind while the world around you slept peacefully. I heard the prayers you whispered quietly because you were afraid to even say them out loud. I heard you asking me if things would ever change. I heard you asking me if the pressure would ever leave your life. And now I am answering you directly. I am not done with you, my child. What tried to bury you is about to bow before the power of my hand. The enemy wanted this season to break you permanently. You wanted emotional exhaustion to destroy your hope. You wanted fear to control your thoughts so completely that you would stop expecting anything good from your future. You wanted disappointment to convince you that your prayers were useless. But the enemy does not control your story. I do. And while darkness was trying to bury your spirit under pain, delay, rejection, confusion, and emotional heaviness, I was quietly preparing a shift bigger than you can currently understand. This message found you because heaven knew your spirit needed this warning tonight. Something is approaching your life that requires your attention, your faith, and your spiritual awareness. The atmosphere around your house is changing. The heaviness that followed you for so long is beginning to lose its power. Chains are starting to weaken. Doors that remained closed are beginning to move. And what looked impossible for months is suddenly becoming possible through my hand. But before the breakthrough fully arrives, I need your heart prepared for what comes next. My beloved child, I know there were moments recently when you almost gave up completely. You became tired of fighting invisible battles every day. You became tired of carrying emotional pressure nobody else seemed to notice. Some days your smile hid deep sadness. Some nights your silence hid overwhelming fear. You kept trying to stay strong because you felt like you had no other choice. But I saw the hidden exhaustion inside your spirit. I saw the moments when your faith became weak. I saw the moments when disappointment made you question whether I was still listening to you at all. And still, even through all of it, my hand never left your life. There were attacks you never saw because I blocked them before they reached you. There were traps prepared against your future that failed because my protection stayed over your life. There were moments when your heart should have completely collapsed under the pressure, but somehow you kept surviving one more day. That strength did not come from you alone. That was my presence carrying you through darkness while your own strength slowly disappeared. The enemy attacked you so intensely because he sensed something powerful approaching your future. Darkness does not waste energy attacking empty lives. The pressure around you became heavier because your breakthrough became closer. The confusion increased because your spiritual awakening was beginning. The emotional warfare intensified because heaven was already preparing movement around your life. What you thought with punishment was actually preparation. What you thought was abandonment was actually protection. And what you thought was the end of your story was only the beginning of a new chapter I have been preparing behind the scenes. Tonight I need you to stop focusing only on what has been hurting you and begin paying attention to what I am doing around you now. There is movement happening spiritually even if your natural eyes cannot fully see it yet. The fear that controlled your mind is beginning to weaken. The hopelessness that drained your spirit is beginning to break. The heaviness inside your home is beginning to shift. And the same situation that once made you cry will soon become proof of my power over your life. My child, do not ignore this warning. You cannot enter your next season carrying the same fear, doubt, and emotional weight that followed you through the last one. The shift approaching your life requires spiritual readiness. I need your attention focused on me now more than ever before. The enemy will try to distract you right before breakthrough arrives. He will try to fill your thoughts with fear again. He will try to make you overthink every situation. He will try to convince you that nothing is changing. But you must not believe those lies anymore. You have spent enough nights crying over things I am already preparing to heal. You have spent enough days worrying over situations I already hold in my hands. You have spent enough time feeling abandoned while my presence stood beside you through every painful moment. And now the time is coming for you to witness what my hand can do when I decide a season has ended. Say amen. You're my fortress and shield if God is guarding your life. Something is shifting over your house tonight. I need you to feel the seriousness of these words deep inside your spirit. This is not random encouragement. This is not empty motivation. This is heaven speaking directly into your life before your next chapter begins. What tried to bury your peace is about to bow. What tried to bury your confidence is about to bow. What tried to bury your hope, your joy, your strength, and your future is about to bow before my authority. You are not forgotten. You are not defeated. You are not abandoned. And you are not as weak as the enemy tried to convince you that you are. The fact that you survived this season already proves that my hand has been protecting you the entire time. Many times you felt emotionally crushed, yet you still kept moving forward. Many times your faith became tired, yet some part of your spirit kept searching for me anyway. That quiet survival inside you was proof that I never stopped carrying you. And now I am preparing you for the shift that is coming next. Do not fear the changes approaching your life. Do not run backward into old habits simply because healing feels unfamiliar. Do not cling to people, places, or situations I am trying to remove from your future. Some things must leave because they cannot follow you where I am taking you next. Trust me even if the process feels uncomfortable. Trust me even while your emotions still feel uncertain. Because what I am building in your life now will be greater than the pain you survived to reach this moment. Tonight, before you sleep, I need these words planted deeply into your spirit. I am not done with you. Your story is still unfolding. Your breakthrough is still alive. Your healing is still coming. Your peace is still possible. And what tried to bury you will not have the final victory over your life. My child, before this night ends, I need your full attention because this moment is more important than you realize. I did not allow these words to appear before you by accident. Heaven interrupted your routine for a reason. While you were preparing to close your eyes tonight, while your mind was still carrying the weight of everything you faced today, I called you here because your spirit needs to hear my voice clearly before the next chapter of your life begins. Do not ignore this moment. Do not treat these words casually. Something urgent is happening around your life, and I refuse to let you walk into the next season without understanding what heaven is trying to tell you tonight. I know you are tired. Not just physically tired, but emotionally tired. spiritually tired, mentally exhausted from carrying pressure that nobody else fully understands. You have been fighting battles quietly for so long that now silence itself feels heavy. Some days you smile while your heart secretly aches. Some nights you lie awake replaying fears, disappointments, memories, and unanswered questions inside your mind. People around you may think you are handling everything well, but I see the hidden exhaustion underneath your strength. I see the moments when you sit alone trying to hold yourself together because you no longer know how to explain the heaviness inside your spirit. And that is why I interrupted your night. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us, given link in description or pinned comment, to show your support. My beloved child, I know what has been happening around your life lately. I know the confusion that suddenly increased. I know the emotional pressure that became stronger without warning. I know the strange heaviness that settled over your thoughts. I know the moments when fear tried to convince you that nothing would ever improve. I know how many times you asked me quietly, "Lord, what is happening to me?" And tonight I need you to understand something important. The battle intensified because the shift is getting closer. The enemy does not fight this hard when nothing valuable is ahead. Darkness became aggressive because your future carries purpose. The attacks increased because something inside your spirit is beginning to wake up again. Fear surrounded your mind because the enemy wanted to distract you before breakthrough arrived. But tonight I am exposing those lies. I am opening your eyes spiritually so you stop mistaking warfare for abandonment. You are not being destroyed, my child. You are being prepared. There is a reason this message found you tonight instead of another night. Heaven understood the condition of your spirit. Heaven saw how close you came to giving up recently. Heaven saw how disappointment almost convinced you to stop expecting anything good from your future. You became tired of hoping because hope kept getting delayed. You became tired of praying because silence lasted longer than your emotions could handle. Some part of you started believing that maybe life would always feel this heavy. But tonight I am interrupting that hopelessness before it completely settles into your spirit. Listen carefully to me now. I am not done with you. You may feel emotionally worn down, but your purpose is still alive. You may feel uncertain about the future, but my hand is still guiding your life. You may feel forgotten by people, but you have never been forgotten by heaven. And even though the season behind you was painful, it will not define the rest of your story. What you survived was not meant to bury you permanently. It was preparing you for the shift now beginning around your life. My child, there are things happening spiritually around your house that you cannot fully see yet. The atmosphere is beginning to change. What felt stuck for a long time is beginning to move. What felt impossible is beginning to weaken. What looked dead is beginning to breathe again. And the enemy feels this shift happening, which is why confusion, discouragement, fear, and emotional exhaustion tried to surround you so heavily recently. Darkness hoped you would become too tired to recognize what heaven was doing. But I brought you here tonight so you would not miss this moment. You have cried enough hidden tears. You have carried enough silent pain. You have spent enough nights feeling emotionally crushed while trying to survive another difficult day. And now heaven is announcing that this season will not continue forever. Something new is approaching your life. Something powerful is moving toward your house. But before breakthrough fully arrives, I need your heart spiritually awake and emotionally prepared. The enemy wants distraction right now. He wants your attention trapped inside fear. He wants overthinking to control your thoughts again. He wants your emotions so exhausted that you stop praying, stop believing, and stop expecting movement from me. But tonight I am calling your spirit higher. I am calling you out of despair. I am calling you out of emotional survival mode. I am reminding you that your life still belongs in my hands, no matter how chaotic circumstances may feel around you. My beloved child, I know there were moments recently when you questioned your own strength. Some days the pressure became so heavy that you secretly wondered how much longer you could keep carrying everything. You became tired of always being strong, tired of always pretending you were okay, tired of carrying emotional pain nobody else seemed to notice. But while you were fighting to survive, I was quietly preserving your future behind the scenes. There were attacks I blocked before they ever reached your life. There were situations that should have completely broken your spirit, but my hand kept you standing anyway. You may not fully realize how protected you have been. The enemy tried to bury your confidence, bury your peace, bury your joy, bury your faith, and bury your future under endless pressure. But he failed because I never remove my hand from your life. Now hear me carefully tonight. What tried to bury you is about to bow. The fear that tormented your thoughts will bow. The heaviness surrounding your emotions will bow. The discouragement attacking your faith will bow. The delay frustrating your spirit will bow. The confusion clouding your mind will bow. Not because of your strength alone, but because my authority is moving over your life again. You do not fully understand yet what is being arranged behind the scenes. While you were crying, I was preparing movement. While you were waiting, I was shifting circumstances. While you were fighting invisible battles, heaven was already preparing answers your eyes have not yet seen. This is why I need your spirit awake tonight. Because the next season cannot be entered carrying the same fear and hopelessness that followed you through the last one. Some things must leave your life now. Some mindsets must break. Some emotional chains must release. Some relationships, habits, and fears cannot follow you where I am taking you next. Do not resist the changes beginning around you. Do not cling to old pain simply because it became familiar. Trust me enough to let me lead you into something new even if the process feels uncomfortable at first. My child, this interruption tonight is not punishment. It is protection. It is love. It is heaven refusing to let you miss the warning before the breakthrough arrives. Too many times you blamed yourself for seasons that were actually spiritual battles. Too many times you thought silence meant rejection when I was actually preparing your future carefully behind closed doors. Too many times you allowed fear to speak louder than my promises. But tonight I am speaking louder than your fear. You are still chosen. You are still loved. You are still protected. You are still called. And your story is still unfolding according to my plan even when your emotions struggle to understand the process. The enemy will not have the final word over your life. Darkness will not permanently bury what I created for purpose. And the pain you survived will soon become proof that my hand never stopped working in your life. So before you sleep tonight, let these words settle deeply into your spirit. The shift has already started. Heaven is moving. Your house is entering a new season. And what tried to bury you is about to bow before the power of my hand. My beloved child, I need you to understand something tonight that your pain has tried to hide from you for far too long. Heaven saw every hidden battle you fought when nobody else knew what was happening inside your heart. I saw the tears you quickly wiped away before anyone noticed them. I saw the moments when you locked yourself away because you did not have the energy to explain your emotions anymore. I saw the nights when you stared into darkness asking questions your lips were too tired to speak aloud. You may have felt invisible to people, but you were never invisible to me. I know how hard you tried to stay strong. I know how many times you smiled while secretly carrying sadness deep inside your spirit. Some days you walked into rooms pretending everything was okay while your heart silently cried for help. You became used to hiding your pain because you feared becoming a burden to others. You kept saying, "I'm fine," even when your soul felt exhausted. But my child, I heard the truth behind every quiet silence. I heard the ache inside every forced smile. I knew the emotional pressure sitting on your chest every single day. There were nights when your thoughts became so loud that sleep felt impossible. Fear kept replaying itself inside your mind. Anxiety whispered worst-case scenarios into your spirit. Painful memories returned without warning. Disappointment surrounded your emotions until hope itself felt difficult to hold on to. And while everyone around you slept peacefully, you were fighting invisible battles alone in silence. But you were never truly alone. I was sitting beside you through every restless night. I was listening to every trembling prayer. I was watching every tear fall from your eyes even when nobody else knew you were crying. My beloved child, I know about the emotional wounds you never fully healed from. I know about the betrayal that changed how easily you trust people now. I know about the rejection that made you question your worth. I know about the moments when you gave your best effort only to watch things still collapse around you. I know about the heartbreak you still carry quietly because some pain never completely left your spirit. And I know about the disappointment that slowly taught your heart to expect less from life because hoping too much became painful. But hear me carefully tonight. Your pain did not go unnoticed in heaven. Every silent breakdown mattered to me. Every hidden fear mattered to me. Every exhausted prayer mattered to me. Every lonely moment mattered to me. The world may have overlooked your suffering, but I never once looked away from it. Even when you stopped talking about your pain openly, I still listened closely to every emotion hidden inside your spirit. You have spent so much time trying to survive emotionally that you forgot what peace feels like. You became accustomed to carrying heaviness every day. Some mornings you woke up already exhausted before the day even started. Some nights your body rested while your mind continued fighting invisible battles inside your thoughts. You kept functioning outwardly, but inwardly your spirit was slowly becoming tired from carrying too much pressure for too long. And still, despite everything, you kept moving forward. Say amen. I see new doors ahead if you're believing for open opportunities and favor. Do you understand how much strength that required? Even while your heart felt wounded, you still showed kindness to people. Even while your mind felt overwhelmed, you still kept trying. Even while disappointment surrounded your emotions, you still searched for hope somewhere deep inside yourself. You may call yourself weak because you cried, but heaven saw courage in every day you survived without giving up completely. The enemy wanted your hidden battles to destroy your identity. He wanted fear to convince you that you were broken beyond repair. He wanted emotional exhaustion to bury your confidence. He wanted hopelessness to slowly separate your heart from me. That is why the pressure became so constant. Darkness hoped that if the battle lasted long enough, eventually you would stop believing that anything could ever change. But tonight I am exposing those lies. You are not forgotten because you struggled emotionally. You are not abandoned because your faith became tired. You are not weak because anxiety attacked your thoughts. You are not disqualified because pain wounded your spirit. In fact, many of the battles you survived were proof that your life carries purpose beyond what you currently understand. The enemy attacked your peace because peaceful people hear my voice clearly. He attacked your confidence because confident hearts become dangerous to darkness. He attacked you because hopeless people stop expecting miracles. My child, there were moments when you secretly wondered if anyone truly understood what you were carrying inside. People saw only parts of your struggle. Some saw your silence, but not the storm behind it. Some saw your tired eyes, but not the emotional warfare inside your mind. Some saw you withdraw, but never realized how deeply exhausted your spirit had become. But I understood all of it completely. I understood the pressure you never explained to anyone. I understood the fear hidden behind your overthinking. I understood the loneliness behind your silence. I'd understood the tears behind your smile. I'd understood the exhaustion behind your strength. And tonight I need you to stop believing the lie that you must carry all of this alone forever. My beloved child, there were times when your own thoughts became your greatest battlefield. Fear told you that nothing would improve. Shame reminded you constantly of your mistakes. Discouragement convinced you that your prayers were useless. Overthinking trapped your mind in endless circles of anxiety. And the longer these battles continued, the more emotionally drained you became. Some days you felt disconnected from everyone around you because nobody fully understood how heavy your spirit truly felt. But heaven understood. I was there every moment. I watched you continue surviving when your own strength felt gone. I watched you continue praying even when faith became difficult. I watched you continue breathing through pain that should have crushed your spirit completely. And every time you thought you were fighting alone, my hand remained over your life, protecting you in ways you still do not fully realize. There were attacks you never saw because I blocked them before they reached you. There were emotional breakdowns that could have destroyed your future, but I sustained you quietly through them. There were moments when darkness tried to bury your spirit under hopelessness, but something inside you still kept reaching toward me anyway. That quiet desire to keep believing was proof that my spirit never stopped holding on to you. My child, I know the hidden battles made you tired. I know emotional pain changed parts of your heart. I know disappointment made trusting difficult sometimes. But this season of suffering will not last forever. The heaviness following your thoughts will not control your future permanently. The sadness attached to your spirit will not define the rest of your story. Heaven has seen enough of your tears. Heaven has heard enough of your silent cries. And now the season is beginning to shift. What buried your peace will bow. What buried your confidence will bow. What buried your joy will bow. What buried your hope will bow. Because I am stepping directly into the hidden battles that nobody else could see. So tonight, before you sleep, stop pretending you are invisible to me. Stop believing that your suffering happened unnoticed. Stop carrying shame for the emotions you struggled to manage alone. I saw every hidden battle. I heard every silent cry. And even through your darkest nights, I never stopped loving you, protecting you, and preparing your future behind the scenes. My beloved child, tonight I need you to finally understand something that the enemy tried very hard to keep hidden from you for a long time. The darkness surrounding your life was never random. The battles attacking your mind were never meaningless. The emotional pressure crushing your spirit was never proof that you were weak or abandoned. The enemy fought you so intensely because he recognized something valuable inside you long before you recognized it yourself. There is purpose over your life. There is calling over your future. There is something inside your spirit that darkness has feared from the very beginning. You spent too much time believing your struggles meant failure. You blamed yourself for battles that were actually spiritual attacks against your future. You kept asking yourself why life became so difficult while watching other people appear peaceful and successful around you. Some days you secretly wondered why you had to fight so hard just to survive emotionally. But my child, the enemy does not waste this much energy attacking empty lives. He attacked you because he sensed the strength, the healing, the growth, and the purpose that would eventually rise from your pain. The enemy saw your future before you did. He saw how your survival would one day become someone else's hope. He saw how your testimony would eventually help heal wounded people around you. He saw how your relationship with me would deepen through every painful season you survived. And because he saw what your future could become, he tried to bury you before you ever fully discovered who you truly are in me. That is why the attacks became personal. That is why emotional exhaustion surrounded your life so heavily. That is why fear constantly whispered lies into your thoughts. Darkness hoped that if it buried you under enough disappointment, rejection, anxiety, loneliness, confusion, and heartbreak, eventually you would stop believing there was purpose over your life at all. My child, there were moments when you genuinely thought you were breaking apart emotionally. Some days the pressure became so intense that even simple things felt difficult. You became tired mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically all at once. Fear attacked your thoughts constantly. Anxiety drained your peace. Disappointment weakened your hope. You fought battles inside your mind that nobody around you fully understood. And while all of this was happening, the enemy kept whispering the same lie repeatedly. You will never recover from this. But tonight I am exposing that lie completely. You survived because my hand never left your life. You are still standing because my purpose over your future still remains alive. And even though the enemy attacked you fiercely, he failed to destroy what I placed inside your spirit before you were born. My beloved child, I know there were nights when you cried quietly because your heart felt too tired to continue fighting. You became exhausted from trying to stay strong while secretly feeling broken inside. Some days you smiled only because you no longer had the energy to explain your pain to anyone else. You felt emotionally trapped between wanting help and feeling too overwhelmed to ask for it. But while you thought you were slowly collapsing under pressure, heaven was still holding your life together behind the scenes. There were attacks you never saw because I stopped them before they reached you. There were moments when darkness tried to completely crush your spirit, but I strengthened you quietly in ways your natural eyes could not recognize. There were situations that should have destroyed your future permanently, but my protection stayed over your life even when you felt weakest emotionally. The enemy attacked your confidence because he feared what would happen if you fully believed what I say about you. You attacked your peace because peaceful hearts hear my voice clearly. He attacked your identity because he feared what would happen if you finally understood how chosen, loved, and protected you truly are. He attacked you up because hopeless people stop expecting miracles. And he attacked your emotions because emotionally wounded people struggle to trust my promises fully. But my child, despite everything the enemy tried to do, you are still here. You survived heartbreak that should have destroyed your trust completely. You survived disappointment that should have buried your hope forever. You survived loneliness that should have hardened your spirit. You survived fear that should have controlled your future. You survived emotional pain that should have crushed your faith entirely. And the reason you survived is because I never stopped carrying you through every dark season. There were moments when your own strength disappeared completely, yet somehow you still woke up the next morning and kept moving forward. That was not accidental survival. That was my spirit sustaining you quietly while the enemy tried to convince you that you were alone. There were nights when peace suddenly touched your heart even while your situation remained painful. That was my presence comforting you. There were times when you should have emotionally collapsed under the pressure, yet something inside you kept fighting to stay alive spiritually. That was my hand preserving your future because your story was never meant to end in defeat. My beloved child, the enemy feared your healing before you even believed healing was possible. Darkness knew that once you fully surrendered your brokenness into my hands, your spiritual strength would grow in ways impossible to stop. That is why distractions constantly surrounded your life. That is why fear kept trying to become louder than my voice. That is why confusion clouded your thoughts repeatedly. The enemy hoped emotional exhaustion would eventually separate your heart from me permanently. But instead, your pain slowly brought you closer to me. Even while struggling emotionally, part of your spirit still searched for my presence. Even while disappointed, part of your heart still hoped I would answer. Even while exhausted, part of your faith still refused to die completely. And that quiet spiritual survival inside you terrified darkness, because it proved the enemy never fully succeeded in separating your heart from mine. My child, I need you to stop viewing yourself as weak simply because you have been wounded. Wounded hearts can still carry powerful purpose. Broken seasons do not erase divine calling. Emotional scars do not cancel your destiny. In fact, many of the battles you survived are becoming part of the wisdom, compassion, strength, and spiritual maturity that will shape your future in ways you cannot yet fully understand. The enemy wanted your pain to destroy you permanently, but I will use the same pain to strengthen you instead. I will use your tears to teach compassion. I will use your survival to inspire others. I will use your healing to reveal my power. I will use your broken seasons to prepare you for greater purpose ahead. And one day, the same darkness that tried to bury you will watch me raise you into the very future it feared most. That is why the attacks became stronger recently, my beloved child. Darkness sensed that your breakthrough was getting closer. The enemy felt spiritual movement happening around your life. He recognized that the season was beginning to shift. And because he could feel change approaching, he increased fear, confusion, discouragement, emotional heaviness, and mental exhaustion, hoping to distract you before the breakthrough fully arrived. But tonight I am awakening your spirit. I am reminding you who you truly belong to. I am reminding you that your future still carries my hand over it. I am reminding you that the attacks did not prove weakness. They revealed purpose. And I am reminding you that what tried to bury you is about to bow before my authority over your life. So stop believing the lie that your suffering happened because you lacked value. The truth is exactly the opposite. The enemy fought you because heaven already marked your life with purpose before you were ever born. Darkness recognized something dangerous inside your spirit long before you recognized it yourself. Type Amen. Your grace rewrote my story if God's mercy changed everything for you. And share this video.